Have you ever wondered what it truly feels like to live in the most polluted places on Earth? In these 7 countries, the levels of PM2, 5 particulate matter are 11 to 15 times higher than the limits set by the World Health Organization. This level of air pollution is a silent killer, causing approximately 4.2 million deaths every year. Today, we're embarking on a journey to the world's most polluted nations, where simply stepping outside could endanger your health. Stay with us as we unveil the surprising truth about these countries and their battle against an invisible enemy. Listen to this. Per YouTube statistics, an average of 30% subscribe when they watch a video. Please subscribe, hit the notification button, and shame the devil. If you did, thanks for your support. Number 1. Indonesia, the disappearing green. Indonesia, known for its rich cultural heritage and lush rainforests, is now grappling with severe air pollution. With PM2, 5 levels hovering around 37 micrograms per cubic meter, the air here is far from fresh. Jakarta, the bustling capital, is at the heart of this crisis. The city's skies are more often gray than blue, a daily reminder of the pollution crisis that claims approximately 232,000 Indonesian lives each year. But air pollution isn't the only problem. Indonesia is also losing its forest at an alarming rate, with nearly 40% of its forest cover wiped out in less than 50 years. This deforestation drives many species to the brink of extinction and disrupts the livelihoods of indigenous communities. In response, the Indonesian government has set ambitious goals to combat these crises. By 2030, they aim to have over 500,000 electric vehicles on the road and have pledged to stop building new coal-fired power plants by 2023. But is this enough? With 10 coal-fired power plants still operating within 100 kilometers of Jakarta, the road to recovery is steep and challenging. Number 2. Qatar. Wealth versus environment. Qatar, often celebrated for its immense wealth, is also battling a serious pollution problem. The country's PM2, 5 levels stand at an alarming 37.6 micrograms per cubic meter. This small nation is struggling to secure clean water for its rapidly growing population and booming industries. The 2022 FIFA World Cup brought international attention to Qatar, not just for its football but for the environmental impact of the event. With Qatar Airways operating around 60 flights a day between Doha and Dubai on match days, air travel accounted for almost 52% of the total emissions for the entire event. Despite these challenges, Qatar is making strides towards sustainability. The country recently connected a solar power plant to the national grid, providing up to 10% of its clean energy needs. Doha's modern metro system and the development of green spaces show a commitment to a greener future. But can Qatar balance its wealth and environmental responsibilities? Number 3. China, the price of progress. China, the world's second-largest economy, has paid a steep price for its rapid industrial growth. In 2023, air pollution levels worsened with PM2, 5 concentrations rising to 32.5 micrograms per cubic meter. In cities like Beijing, the air quality is equivalent to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes daily. The Chinese government has committed to peaking carbon emissions between 2026 and 2030 and achieving carbon neutrality by 2060. But the recent surge in approved coal-fired power plants threatens these goals. As the largest emitter of greenhouse gases, China's environmental future hangs in the balance. Can the nation curb its reliance on coal and embrace a cleaner future, or will economic pressures continue to drive environmental degradation? Number 4. India, a breath away from disaster. In India, the air in many of its most populated cities is among the most polluted in the world. With PM2, 5 levels reaching 54.4 micrograms per cubic meter, breathing in this air is dangerous. Air pollution in India is now a leading cause of premature death, cutting short the lives of about 2 million people each year. The widespread use of biomass fuels for cooking and heating, particularly in rural areas, contributes significantly to the crisis. Despite efforts to curb pollution, India's plans to increase coal-fired power production by 50% by 2030 could lead to an additional 844,000 premature deaths. Will India prioritize public health over industrial growth, or will the country continue down this hazardous path? Number 5. Pakistan, the smog crisis. Just across the border in Pakistan, the air pollution crisis is equally dire. In 2024, the PM2.5 level in Lahore skyrocketed to a staggering 73.7 micrograms per cubic meter. Major urban centers, including the capital Islamabad, are choking under severe pollution, with the air quality in some areas equivalent to smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. Pakistan's air pollution is exacerbated by crop burning, industrial emissions, and vehicle exhaust. The health impacts are profound, ranging from respiratory problems to cardiovascular diseases and cancer. While the government has introduced policies to tackle this issue, the scale of the crisis requires more robust and immediate action. Number 6. Egypt, a battle on multiple fronts. In the heart of Egypt, air pollution is casting a dark shadow over the health and well-being of millions. With PM2.5 levels at 42.4 micrograms per cubic meter, the nation's health system is under immense strain, treating up to 2 million cases of respiratory diseases each year. The Egyptian government is taking steps to combat air pollution, such as regulating industrial emissions and promoting clean fuel vehicles. However, deforestation driven by infrastructure projects is undermining these efforts, further exacerbating the environmental crisis. Egypt's struggle against pollution is a battle on multiple fronts, with the health of its citizens hanging in the balance. Number 7. Iraq, a legacy of conflict and pollution. Iraq, a nation rich in oil, faces a severe environmental crisis. The country's PM2.5 levels reached 80 micrograms per cubic meter in 2022, driven by the burning of excess methane during oil extraction and the lingering effects of years of conflict. The environmental and health toll is staggering, with pollution contributing to widespread respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. In 2023, the Iraqi government launched an ambitious reforestation program to plant 5 million trees across the nation. But experts warn that planting trees alone won't solve the problem. Iraq must address its reliance on fossil fuels and the environmental destruction caused by decades of conflict to secure a healthier future. Conclusion: the battle against air pollution is a global struggle, affecting millions of lives across these 7 nations and beyond. While some governments are taking steps to address the crisis, the scale of the challenge is enormous. The question remains, can we turn the tide before it's too late? We've seen how air pollution devastates not just the environment but also the lives of millions of people, particularly women and children. As we move forward, the choices we make today will determine the health of future generations. So what can you do? Raise your voice, support sustainable initiatives, and demand change. Together, we can breathe life back into our planet. If you find this content helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.